Minnie, my sweetheart, right there. There she is.
Hold up. Hey, well, my who be thinking we.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Anyway. Welcome to Park Hoppin', everyone. Oh, I forgot he had a little extra hiccup on that ride. How is everybody doing today? We are joined by the expert of all experts panel, starting with Vosh from over there on that Park Place. How are you, sir? I heard you felt an earthquake this morning over there in California.
Yeah, apparently 5.2 out there outside of San Diego, but where I'm at, we felt some pretty good shudders over here. So, and it's already got attractions down at Disneyland as we currently speak right now. Should be up within the next hour or so. But yeah, it has affected operations here at Southern California just a little bit.
What about you, Ivan? Did you feel a shake?
If it came over here to Central LA, I was asleep. I didn't feel anything. But that's actually kind of new to me that Disneyland was closing rides because of that. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I saw the tweets and everything. So that there was an earthquake. I'm glad everybody that I know seems to be okay. Just a little shaking, a little rumbling over there. And what about you? Krista Nova's here.
Hi, we just hit 26K on Park Hoppin', 26K subs. Thank you all so much for subscribing and being here for the ride. Really appreciate it. And
yeah, Krista's killing it on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah, that too. On the Instagram, we just hit 22K. TikTok, we're so close to, I think it's 6K. My gosh, I just can't even keep counting more. It's just crazy. All this Epic Universe stuff is just blowing up.
Yeah, we were lucky to be able to go 3 times before the park even opened.
Mm-hmm.
So, and each time it was like a different person that's like, hey, I got tickets. We'd love to see you there. It's like, well, we're off again.
Me and Jay got recognized quite a bit at the theme parks already at Epic, out of all places.
And mostly by cast members.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
People that work there. We were in the Yoshi ride yesterday, and this guy's like, are you on YouTube? Pointing at me. I was like, yes. He goes, I've seen your theme park videos. It's good. And the funny thing is, he was like, he goes, do you play video games, Jay? And I'm like, man, obviously only knows me from Park Hoppin', not anything else. So that was kind of neat that, that we have like a group of people. And if you're watching right now, it was nice to meet you in the Yoshi ride. So, also this Jay throwing around his clout, of course. I have to clarify. I have to clear my name. I brought this up on daily, and I'm bringing this up now because for some reason, I have been tagged in this more than anything these past 2 days or 3 or whatever this is. As you can clearly see.
Oh my gosh.
And I can't play it because there's music. As you can clearly see, even though I was at Epic Universe yesterday, I am nowhere around this photo anywhere.
Wait, I think you're that guy back there with the camera.
No one is near Toad. He takes a tumble.
No, Toad.
He takes a bad tumble because look at his back feet fly up.
They made him walk entire way. That wasn't right.
Yeah, the lovely Sherry Comics Division has a side job. That's messed. That's funny. Yeah, that wasn't me. You can see there was no one there. That's not me back there either. It might be, but I wasn't near him. I wasn't near him. So poor Toad. Just completely wiped out. What did he trip on? Just his feet just gave out on him?
Well, he's not supposed to walk around so much. He's not even supposed to take photos there anyway. That's for Mario and Luigi. There's like a certain area where you take photos.
Yeah, he's like in the back by the castle.
Yeah, but because it's like for preview people, they just made it special, I guess.
Yeah, Peach has her own section. Mario and Luigi have their own section. Toad has his own section. Why does everybody say sure, Jay? Do you see me anywhere in this video? Nowhere.
My God.
Jose says it's Krista. She's like a ninja.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, she would never trip any Nintendo character.
No,
No,
never.
not Toad. Not
Yeah.
Toad.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially that. Plus, he was singing yesterday some song, the Yoshi song. And never stopped. Yeah.
I was bugging Jay the entire time. He just was like, "Oh my gosh, Krista, stop, please." It's like,
Just saying, like it was
the Yoshi Ride song. It's so catchy. Gets stuck in your head.
It does, because the Yoshi Ride, it's slow. It is like,
Perfect.
it is just like snail pace. So, and they keep playing that song. Gearmaster for $2. So Jay, how much did that tripwire you use cost? Mm-hmm.
Exactly $2. Thank you.
So don't encourage them. Before we get into Epic Universe and some of the issues and stuff that are going on, and just to explain that this theme park was definite. Man, who was that typing? I haven't got like them crunchy keyboard, man. Like,
Damn.
I was telling Krista yesterday when we were there, I was like, man, they built this theme park for the nighttime audience.
Yeah.
With the extended light, it is like a totally different theme park at night. But before we get into that, a little Disney news for you. There's a video on Park Hoppin whenever we decide to get it going. But Ryan recorded. You guys might not have heard this, but over at Disneyland, just the other day at Tiana's Palace, apparently there was a naked man. Krista, don't look. Climbs the top of Tiana's Palace structure yesterday. Or the day before. They climbed this lamp, this structure right here, naked.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Apparently a naked man climbed the top of the structures at Tiana's Palace restaurant at Disneyland. They have video, but we're not going to show it. I think it's been taken down. But yeah, he climbed this thing right here with one of the lights. Apparently he broke one of the lamps. And he said...
That's crazy.
They claim he was screaming as if he was Peter Pan.
Oh my goodness.
Peter Pan. Maybe he thought he could fly.
Yeah, I was able to see the video. Very disturbing for sure.
Was he like completely naked, like streaker type, or
Ooh.
Oh really? Like sometimes these articles get printed and it's like someone just took their shirt off, and that's the end.
No, I saw a bit of it too, and unfortunately, he was on top of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was on top of there. They had security and cast members, kind of like evacuating the area, apologizing profusely. They couldn't really cover him because he's up there. And he was causing quite the stir. Apparently, very excited about Tiana's there. But no, he jumps down, and I guess according to this report right here, tries to climb a tree, in which then he is surrounded by security guards. I think I think they're alleging that he was then subdued at that point. But we have seen an uptick in this type of behavior, at least at Disneyland, for some reason or another. Ivan, you can probably speak to this as well. Like Small World, that incident that took place recently. These things shouldn't happen, but they do.
What happened at Small World?
There's a guy that go ahead.
You had somebody disembark from their boat in Small World at Disneyland and completely disrobe and then actually go through the various sets of Small World, and I believe was attempting to make his way out. Right, I think the idea, the problem was that the ride was shut down for an extended period of time, lost control there and just really upset quite a bit of families who had to see this. And that's when actually police were involved, which is very rare for Disney to do, because if the police are involved, those matters are public record and you can actually FOIA them. So that's why they're hesitant to bring police officers out. But for that instance, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all I gotta say is, how come I'm never there when this happens?
Yeah. It's
Hey, maybe when you
yeah.
visit.
This kind of stuff doesn't really happen that much in Orlando. The only thing in Orlando is people drink a little too much and then they start acting a fool. But maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Yeah, that gumbo must have been really good.
Lovely Sherry says that's typical Florida man behavior. All right, Sherry, this happened in California, not in Florida. So both of these instances
She's not wrong
were
entirely.
that is true. Usually Florida man has to do some with it being naked in an alligator. So I don't know.
Now that I think about it, Tiana's thinking about that special spice. I don't know. Maybe Ivan's right. Maybe that gumbo had a little bit of special spice in it.
That is freaking. I mean, that's freaking crazy. Like,
it was wild.
Think that you're Peter Pan. Icanalist says, between this and the constant breakdowns, I think Tiana is cursed for replacing a beloved ride.
Yeah. I think so. And she's taken over all of New Orleans Square. This is just one of many venues featuring Tiana, not just Splash Mountain, but Raised Berets, obviously, taking over the old Indian trading post that used to be there. Then it was like, what is it? It was the Briar Patch. And then she took over a number of, or her IP, that is, took over a number of areas in the old Winnie the Pooh area back there. And what was Critter Country now is Bayou Country, replaced for Tiana's. And
they went all in. Huh?
Eurodor's Chic Boutique in New Orleans. Yeah, they went all in.
Yep.
And then they canceled the show that was supposed to be incorporated with all this changeover. The Disney Plus show.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So nice. Real quick, Keenan says, for Krista J, Ivan and Vosh, thank you for the message, Keenan. Jose Taco said Disney lowered the hotel prices to like $100 a night. On certain hotels, yeah. They always do that over the summer to try to entice families to come.
Mm-hmm.
So Maximus just wanted us to show off his avatar. One's feet. Thanks for the 99¢. And Keenan for 2. I didn't say it right. Chris has to say it.
For 2?
Yeah. Congrats, Park, hopping on the 26K. That's right.
Thank you.
That was pretty awesome. And then, of course, we got Icanlis' super chat. Thank you guys for the love. Chris is spamming the chat saying, Jay, will you visit the UK for the new theme park? That's like in 6 years.
Yeah.
2031.
All right. So speaking of which, let's do you mind if we talk a little UK?
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Theme parking.
Yeah,
Because
there's a lot of speculation.
yes. So I'm gonna pull up a map. Well, Park Hoppin Twitter. So if you're not following the Park Hoppin Twitter account, you're missing out. You're missing out because we make sure we get all the hot takes. But this is that's a terrible picture of it. But
I have a really high quality picture of the.
Yeah, here we go.
Map.
I beat you to it.
You got it.
So apparently, the Lord of the Rings rumor could possibly be true because there was filings of a trademark for the theme park. Also, they filed Jurassic Park and Back to the Future.
Yeah.
The rumor was that this is a Back to the Future area. This is Jurassic Park. This is like Minions. And I'm assuming this part is Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they were saying that was Shrek, but now it's Lord of the Rings, supposedly.
If that's true, does anybody else have any?
I think Universal Apex showed some screenshots, and I think some people below that were replying, suggesting that that wasn't for Universal UK or Universal Studios, the patent holder, the trademark holder for those. So I think there is some debate on whether or not these franchises will actually be featured. They are heavily rumored, though. I think we had I believe there was a British report that came out suggesting very strongly that Lord of the Rings and James Bond would be featured. I think the kind of the water world looking amphitheater up there with the explosion that you see in the top upper part of that photo, a lot of people are speculating that that's not in fact Waterworld, that is in fact James Bond. And the other part that people are pretty dead certain on, the answers to, is the Illumination or Minions land over there on the side there. If you look at the facades, they track very closely to what's already been established before. And a lot of people are saying Hill Valley and a Back to the Future roller coaster in that area.
Yeah.
And Jurassic World up top.
Jurassic World here.
Yeah, it was like a dark ride for Jurassic.
I got some close-up photos. Let's see. I'm just saying, if they were to pull off a oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry, this is not a close-up photo. This was something else I was going to share in a second.
Yep.
Sorry.
Good.
I messed up. Here we
go.
This was it here. I got it. So sorry about that. This is the rumors. The heavy rumors that this is Illumination. Now, they built something like this in is it Beijing?
Yeah, they just opened one.
Yeah, so it looks very similar. Now, this ride looks like the Woody Woodpecker ride, or the old Woody Woodpecker ride, the Trolls ride here in Orlando. Very similar.
Right.
So maybe that's that. This, like you said, Hill Valley, Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And over here is the Shrek and Trolls area. Rumored, this is all rumors. All rumors. It could be completely different. This could be Flower Pot Man. I don't know.
Flower.
This could be, I don't know what this could be, but this could be anything. But it looks like there's like a place for a show.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of stuff on the ride is inside for a lot of it. Then it shoots outside, then goes back inside.
Right. Now,
that's kind of neat. And then, of course, Jurassic World. That makes sense that it would be Jurassic World.
Yeah, and the trademark they have specifically is the new movie. And there's a rumor saying that it's going to be like the Beijing one.
Yeah. So I think Jim Hill from the podcast that he does with Touring Plans was suggesting that very strongly that the Beijing dark ride that is there for Jurassic World would be featured in this park.
Oh, that's a great.
Yeah,
I saw videos of that ride. That's
great.
Yeah,
fantastic attraction.
Like you said, Vosh, 007 again rumored, and then Lord of the Rings here. I guess they got that from the trademark and maybe these castles, like stuff like that. I don't know. I could, they do something like this. This is speculation. And Krista, chime in whenever. They also have they're speculating a giant Wicked area. Yeah. I'm gonna say this. So Krista had me watch Wicked. It was on streaming. So, and I didn't hate it. And I'm ready for Wicked Part 2. You know? And I'm not really much of a musical person, but the story overall, and I was like, okay, I get it. The fan base for Wicked is so, people are like, boo, hey man, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. The fan base for Wicked is so large.
Yeah.
That I was telling her, I was like, if they were to do a big area of Wicked, they could build that castle.
Oh yeah, the Emerald City.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, not just for like Wicked fans, but also like Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I do like Wizard of Oz.
I could see that happening for sure.
I mean, that could be a Universal Castle, other than that, or Zelda. You know.
So Mark Woodbury, the head of destinations and experiences for Universal and head of Universal Creative, has said before that they're exploring the Wicked universe, and I think the last quote we have of him said that it was like ripe for theme parks. So it definitely expressing enthusiasm to feature Wicked in some form of capacity. It would make sense to do it here in the UK for sure and set itself apart maybe from some U.S. offerings. Lord of the Rings has been speculated for a long, long time to be within Universal's control. And so,
I will say this for those anti-Wicked people in the chat: the Wicked experience at Universal is always packed. So,
Yeah.
and they had to bring out a special line if they bring out the 2 stars. You know, if they bring them out for photos, you know, like the characters, because they have to have a virtual queue for that line now because it's ridiculous.
Wicked was
Never
also
even
added.
seen-
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I've never even seen those 2 characters, and I usually see all the characters, and I'm there almost every week, you know. So the fact that I haven't seen them goes to show that really busy.
So Wicked meet and greet was just recently added as part of the Fan Fest nights at Universal Studios Hollywood, featuring Glenda and Alphaba. Is that right?
Yeah.
So you can definitely see if they're getting a lot of enthusiasm for whatever they have over there at Universal Studios Florida, and they just added Wicked stuff for Universal Fan Fest nights, which we know is kind of a testing ground for a lot of stuff that Universal might want to include in its parks permanently on an ongoing basis. And you can kind of see like there's a lot of enthusiasm there.
I mean, they got to do what makes money, you know, and what people want. And so that's the thing with Universal. It's like they offer a variety of things to different people for the different franchises, such as right now, there are people that they only go to Universal for the Harry Potter stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, you know, for me, I don't want to speak for Krista. I watched the Harry Potter movies. I thought they were fine. I'm not like deep dive invested like I was for Star Wars. So, you know, but there are people that 120 degrees, 98% humidity in Florida are in those dark robes, just hanging out at Hogsmeade all day.
Wow.
And I'm just like, man, I know they're dying because I'm like, I just want to jump in the water.
Yeah.
All day. And even at Epic Universe, the Ministry of Magic, other than the ride that we haven't done yet, that we've heard amazing things, and it's not really a land that I probably would spend a lot of time in. Not that it's ugly or anything like that. It's just that I'd rather be in Super Nintendo World or Isle of Burt. Like, just that's just how it is. I am dying to try the restaurant that they have there, and then, you know, so it is. But people go in there and they never leave. You know, they got like wands on them, and they're all set to go. They just stay there and do the thing over and over, and they never stop. So, and then of course Universal has Transformers. They have Minions. They have all kinds of things. So they try to appeal to many different people. Now, just out of speculation, I saw Alasia in the chat. She's like, I don't want this. As a hardcore Lord of the Rings fan, I got to be honest and say I don't want this unless it's as good as you know, the places in New Zealand, things like that. Respect your opinion. If this in fact is just a Lord of the Rings building, the only thing I could see them, if that is a ride, this is just clearly speculation. If that is a ride, the only thing I could see them doing is something along the lines of like Transformers.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Like, or Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're flying on an eagle, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like get on an eagle and fly through Middle Earth.
Or the when they're in the caves, I don't know, they're fighting that beast.
Yeah, something like that. That's the only thing I could think of if that were. Or what they have there is just like a massive museum. So like they have for Wicked here in Orlando. The Wicked experience took over, I want to say 3 stores. Hello Kitty store, and they just redid the whole thing and turned it into a giant museum. with stuff from the films and stuff like that. So that's the only. Any other thoughts?
Well, Universal understands that the right franchise in the right way can turn around an entire theme park or become a destination itself, like you were saying, Jay. I mean, there was a time when Islands of Adventure wasn't fully owned by the parent company of Universal because of how poorly that park actually performed initially.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't until Harry Potter was incorporated, in which they lost the rights from Disney because Disney was developing rides and attractions first, and then that kind of correlated with Comcast's ownership of Universal. But before then, Islands of Adventure, just wasn't all that successful. And only when Harry Potter was opened, that turned everything around. And I think to date they've sold almost $250 million worth of butterbeer alone. So it's like Lord of the Rings. They know the enthusiasm out there. They know that people will visit from all over the world to see the Lord of the Rings attraction. That would put this park on the map for sure.
6 years. But I'm sure this is just the early phases. What I had pulled up earlier, before, I said it early way too many times, was the fact that, and I'd love to hear everyone's take on this. Universal has been making moves that people are not, maybe they're not understanding what's going on. So we have the first major theme park opened in Orlando with a hotel included in 25 years in Epic Universe. We have Universal Studios UK, Universal Studios Beijing, that's only a few years old. We have Universal Studios Texas that's going to be opening. I'm not exactly sure when. Now, this is definitely designed for a younger audience. And it might not be as big, but they're supposed to have Hot Wheels and other stuff there as well.
I don't think so.
Is that not it? You might thinking of another park.
Yeah, that was the Mattel Park in Glendale.
Mattel Park,
Arizona.
yeah, forgive me. This is what's supposed to open in Texas.
Yeah.
So, and then they also have this that's, I think, is opening
August.
So this is the Las Vegas Halloween Horror Night thing.
Yes.
So
now the Universal Horror Unleashed, which you're seeing on screen right now, opens August 14th, 2025. Really, really big excitement for that. And Halloween Horror Nights has just been this amazing perennial for Universal. But the idea has been like, oh, can we have a permanent setting for this? I think Vegas is the perfect location for this. Frisco, that's going to be opening in 2026 as the Universal Kids Resort. And they have said openly that these experiences like the Horror Unleashed or Frisco, those are kind of stepping ground attractions for their larger experiences out in Hollywood and especially in Florida, right? So they are getting multiple areas of the available demographics out there, and also various areas of the country that have been historically underserved in order to expand their footprint. And I think it's an amazing strategy. And here's the thing, even with Beijing, right, relatively new, but they are spending a ton of money to expand that park out in a big, big way. And I think they just actually announced some corporate leadership changes where the same executive is going to be in charge of both Beijing and Hollywood. And we're thinking because both of those resorts, and I say resorts because I think Hollywood will be turned into a resort, will be going through some massive expansions of their own.
This is quite exciting that Universal is like, we're gonna plant stuff in different areas, all over the world for competition. Because the only Disney's theme park I guess you would Disney Paris. I guess that would be the closest thing.
Disney Paris, yep.
So, and they just announced a brand new
expansion,
a brand new ride.
Oh yeah, a brand new flat ride. Woohoo!
Right. A brand new.
There's like I've been reading some stuff on Twitter, and people are going just crazy for that ride alone. Like, oh, it should have been something.
But here's the other thing though, and I got super chats. I'm gonna get to it. Thank you, because we're gonna be done with this and go right back into Epic Universe because Chris is gonna share a lot of food. And Disney is literally adding elements of the Rivers of America in Disneyland Paris, while destroying Rivers of America completely in the Magic Kingdom. Make it make sense.
Weird.
So yeah, Paris is, here's the photo. So this is the, the same steamboat ride that we have, and they're gonna add more things to it over in Disneyland Paris, while here in Orlando they're gonna destroy it and built a dirt track for cars.
Yeah, and ironically, some of these elements you can find at the Disneyland rivers. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
So they're really adding more for the experience there.
So Disneyland Paris has Rivers of the Far West. It's a slightly different name, but it's essentially Rivers of America, and it surrounds.
I wouldn't expect them to name it Rivers of America in Paris. So
Well, it's interesting because the Imagineers were actually surprised by how much the French audience wanted to embrace America, and especially the Old West theme and so forth. They really went high for that. So that's good, I suppose. But yeah, it's Rivers of the Far West, and it's slightly different than maybe Magic Kingdom or Disneyland's in that Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is actually the island itself, and you actually board a train on the other side, and via a tunnel, that's what connects you to the Big Thunder Mountain proper. So in terms of land and its usage, they were a little bit smarter with it, let's say, for this iteration of it. What is it? Disneyland Paris recently celebrated its 33rd anniversary on April 12th of this year, so 2 days ago, and that's where all these announcements are actually coming from. And honestly, I don't think there's been an attraction added to Disneyland Paris proper, the park, since 1995, and that will continue on apparently because they are busy reimagining their previous Walt Disney Studios park, now Disney Adventure World next door.
And also the Haunted Mansion, which is right there on that rivers. The story of that connects to the story of Thunder and the whole rivers area. So it's like a whole connected storyline.
Phantom Manor. Yeah, it's a whole connected storyline. It's really, really cool. But there's two different philosophies playing out here. You have the managers that have a disproportionate level of control over at Magic Kingdom saying, well, we got to get rid of this. We got to open up this place. And this is underutilized anyway. Get rid of this. Whereas Disneyland Paris is taking, maybe perhaps a much more conservative approach, but I think one that would be greatly appreciated by fans in Florida.
Well, right now, Disney's really focusing here on their cruise lines. So they keep making a lot of announcements for the different cruises as well. So Jose Taco for 2, Lord of the Rings could be a show like Conan the Barbarian in California. It could be anything. You never know. Could be anything.
Yeah.
Niagara for 5. Howdy Park Hoppin' question about the Nintendo merch, like the Bowser sweater Krista got. Is that the character's name in Japanese or something else?
I don't know, but I could find out. I know Jay got a shirt of that collection, like the neon style. I think those are like the merch from Japan, and they just brought them here. But I don't know if those are the names of the characters themselves. I'll have to probably ask. But that's a good question. It's really cool merch.
I don't know where my shirt is.
Yeah. It kind of fluctuates. I think it's Bowser, but I've seen King Koopa. Apparently, it's the Great Demon King.
They had Chomper on it and everything, like the Chomp Chomp. Is that how you call it?
Chomp Chomp.
They're really neat, though. They're really neat. Oh wait, I'm doing this backwards. Scatter Knight, congrats, Krista, for making 2,600 accounts.
Thank you.
Seriously though, congrats on the 2.6. Actually. Shattered Glass. It's not 2.6K. It's 26,000 subs.
Thank you.
But thank you for the $4 total. Sensei Paul for 5. Back to the Future and Jurassic World have been confirmed for Universal UK. Oh, What's up, RJ? How you doing,
Hey,
man?
RJ.
And Anjanette gifted 5 memberships to the channel.
Thank you. That's so nice.
Should we scream them?
Yes.
Did I say shattered glass? Shattered night. Sorry. Wow. Jay's doing Beardo math. What do you mean? Did he not say 2.6? Did I get that wrong?
He said 2.6K.
It's 26K. 26. So now you owe us another $10. Scattered night. There you go. Man, it's been a long day, man. Sorry. Still wrong.
EP.
Man, I went to Epic Universe. You didn't, Agronal. So there.
Dang. That's Jay's flex of the week.
So there. No, yeah, my flex of the week. Speaking of, dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun,
all right.
dun, 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 dun. I love it. I want to go back.
It's kind of crazy that we've gone 3 times before it's even open. So Nagarno says you got me. And yesterday was the first time I was there at night. And I got to tell you, this park was made. I think once it gets in full swing, I feel like I'm the kind of person that will go there at 5 o'clock. So, because it is a completely different park. It is so beautiful. Of course, now over the summer, it doesn't get dark till like 8 o'clock over here in Florida.
Why don't you pull up the actual video? We do have a video on Park Hoppin at nighttime of this park. You can just, you don't have to put on the sound. You can just let it play as we talk about it.
Yeah.
Jay.
All right, then someone's got to talk while I pull it up.
All right. Well, yes, we did go back to Epic yesterday and it was fantastic. It was great. Yeah, we did eat at Pizza Moon, which we do have a video on that as well if you'd like to check out our review. And we got to eat the Princess Peach cake, which I was really excited for. This thing was massive. It's supposed to feed 3 to 4 people. And it was just me and Jay, so we didn't really get to finish it. But one complaint that I have for these quick service places, especially at Epic, the food is so massive that they need to have to-go boxes. They need to, because you can't finish everything. Especially if you're going to stay at the hotels, you need some to-go boxes. There we go. Dark Universe.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Yeah, we went to Toadstool Cafe and just ordered one thing, the cake.
Yeah, they said, they were like, sorry, it's going to be like 40 minutes to an hour wait on food. We're like, we're just here for the cake, which they usually have pre-prepared. And so we got our food within like 15 minutes. Everyone else is like, hey, we're just here for the cake. And it was delicious. It was a massive cake, which cost $22.99, but totally worth it. Yeah, this is where we're going to be on opening day, Ivan. It's awesome.
Oh my God, I'm crying.
Yeah, wait till it gets, like, the castle has a special thing that goes off like every 20 minutes.
Yeah, electricity.
So that was pretty. You can see everybody just turn the camera around. There you go. There it is right there. And it plays music. That's Dr. Frankenstein performing. It's performing.
Cool.
But what I didn't notice, and Krista pointed it out yesterday while I was recording this as well, was that the entire Dark Universe goes into like it's like a pattern. Like it all goes dark and it all flickers with the same thing, with the lightning that's going on over there. So it's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like we were talking about this because some of the other parks, so Disney's Animal Kingdom closes like at 6.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, because if you've never experienced Pandora at night, my gosh, it is one of the most gorgeous places that Disney's built, but yet they're like, no one's gonna see it anymore. We close at 6, which is, I don't know why, it's so dumb. And then Universal Studios during the week, they also close like at 7, and after the time change, it doesn't get dark till after 7. Which is really sad because Universal's also beautiful at night. And so the question was when we were walking was like, you think they'll close this park early? I was like, man, they built this entire park for the nighttime experience
Mhm.
to be something completely different. There's no way they would close this thing like at 6 or 7,
Yeah.
I agree.
you know.
Yeah, it's one of my biggest complaints about Florida in general is that the hours are just so very limited. Ivan and I kind of used to Disneyland Resort, and it's open until midnight on the regular.
Yeah,
So it's like,
Disneyland
okay,
is
no
like-
big deal. But you know, you go to Magic Kingdom, close at 9 or something, 8. I was there at Animal Kingdom. I wanted to see Pandora at night, couldn't see it because, like you said, Jay, closes at 6. And that all comes down to like staffing, but also too, if you shorten the hours and people are forced to stay longer, extend their stays out in order to see everything that these parks have to offer. I don't like it. I think Epic Universe, at least when we're talking about numbers attached to capacity for this park, they really should extend those hours out. And I think they would get plenty of people willing to visit.
Yeah.
One of those roller coasters is named Doc Brown, and it has a flux capacitor in the front.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Did you ride it?
I have not ridden that yet. I'm waiting for a ride partner. Now, when I did go with Ryan to ride it, it was shut down. So, and I also have not done Ministry of Magic, which people are saying that is one of the best experiences in the state of Florida. So, and that's a ride that, well, I guess we'll find out one day that Krista could do. Maybe not get sick. So, because that's the last thing we want. But I plan on riding everything. The roller coaster in here, the Hiccup Gliders, I think it's called, the roller coaster, is a lot like Hagrid's. So it's a fun coaster that has Sensei Paul says, you got me, Jay. I know, man. We gotta work it out. Jose says, take Beardo, he's begging to go. That's up to Jeremy, not us. It isn't like, so here's the thing. I know we joke with Beardo and Beardo jokes with us. It's all love. We're all family here. We have very limited, like it's not like people were like, here's 10 tickets, take whoever you want. It was, they needed our full name. We had to fill stuff out. We had to like make promises. It's not like we just showed up and just walked.
Yeah, it's not like we have multiple tickets to hand out to everybody. This is just because we have to film and work.
Yeah, how horrible. We work for a theme park channel that has to record theme park stuff, right? But the Isle of Burke is probably, oh my gosh, you can see the coasters in the back, and when it gets even darker, they turn the lights off and you just see the coasters. It looks like they're flying like comets. It's so amazing. So I want to give my complaint. So my complaint, and Chris's can be different, I don't know. When we went Sunday, we were told by the staff that this was the biggest group that they have allowed in since the preview started, and that they were working with about between 15 to 18,000 guests were supposed to be, or at least that's how many tickets they allowed out. So if they all showed up, I don't know. When me and Krista got there, we parked in, like, I was nervous that I don't know where we were going to park. We parked in like almost the very back. So the parking lot was like full. Now let's just say this, for example, some of the parking lot's not finished. So there was big chunks of it that wasn't available for people to park. But when we got there, I said, oh my gosh, this place is going to be crowded. And so they told us, they were like, yeah, this is like the biggest group we've allowed in. And we're hoping that we can get 50,000 on opening day, because they're going to do something. All the rumors are pointing, and I put it in the Park Hoppin chat, that they're going to do something crazy for opening day and bring in some guests. I hope Miyamoto's there for Krista's sake.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Do you think they're gonna have fireworks that night?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's like the only thing I have yet to get, because they haven't been doing any fireworks. They have done test ones, but that's without the people in the park. So There's a couple of things I still have to film at Epic. I'm going to be staying at the hotel that you see right there in July. I'm going to try to get the point of view of the fireworks at that hotel. We still haven't seen flying dragons in the park too. That's
Not
something
yet.
that they
Yeah.
haven't revealed yet. So there's still a lot to see, even from opening, point of view.
So my complaint was when we were there. Now this is a test preview, so things could be different. The lines to get in or do anything were backed up. And I'm like, if this is just only, a 20%, what are they going to do at a 50% occupancy? You know what I mean? Like, it is going to be ridiculous because the line to get into Monsters when it opened up was at the portal to get on that ride.
Yeah.
And it has a massive line queue. And Krista's seen it, and Chris actually went through the first two shows for the Monsters ride. And then on top of that, you got to put stuff in lockers and things like that. The line queue for Ministry of Magic, they said, is up to a 6.5 hour line queue that people could wait up to 6 hours inside in the air conditioning with all the theming that they have in there. So that might be something, but that's a massive line queue. But even as we waited to get into the Moon Pizza or Pizza Moon, we were outside waiting to get in. And then once we got in, and wait in another line to be seated. So I'm like, man, they should have made this thing a lot bigger.
Yeah, I told Jay, I was like, what we did most of the day today? We just waited. We waited and waited, lines and lines. And so I'm curious to know how they're going to manage that on regular days. I don't know.
Yeah.
We waited for ice cream. The cone of macaroni.
Yeah, that macaroni.
Cheese, the line for that, we waited 45 minutes.
Whoa.
It will wrap around Isle of Berg. That's how dude, people were buying 2 or 3 at a time. That I literally think they didn't realize what kind of a popular snack that was going to be and how everybody wanted one. So that was insane. Ministry of Magic is just packed with people except for this one little section onto the right where it's just full on wand fun where you use your wand. So my biggest fear is that if they were to hit high capacity, how bad are these lines going to be? Because we saw it pretty bad Sunday for such a low attendance.
Do you feel that every single facility that you were able to get into, do you feel that it was fully staffed and fully operational? Or were they limiting operations just for this preview event?
I was under the impression that this particular Sunday they had more staff and that's why they gave out more tickets.
Okay.
Because even so like the other days we've gone, for example, and Krista can correct me or chime in, when we went to, we'll just take Dark Universe. The other times we went to Dark Universe, the characters that were outside, they're very interactive. They roam around, the Invisible Man, Igor, all them. They roam around and talk to you and stuff. When we were there Sunday, when a character went out, there was a massive, like we saw Igor, there's a massive crowd around them. He couldn't roam like they did when we went the other days. Same thing as Ministry of Magic. When I was there with Ryan, the characters, there was a ton of characters walking around. And then Sunday they just get, coned in. Now, Isle of Berk was a little different. The characters kind of forced themselves out of the line circle.
Yeah, they keep it moving.
So we saw them. What was it? What's his name? Right.
Rough Nut and Tough Nut.
Yeah, Tough Nut. Yeah. So they would stand and talk, and then I was telling Chris, I was like, you could literally see a line forming.
Wow.
Like to talk to them, and they immediately, once they saw that, they broke away. They just walked away. And people were like, you know what I mean?
They were getting followed though. Like people were following because they wanted to get a selfie, they wanted to get a video, but they played it off really well. And that's a really massive park. So it's easy to just navigate yourself around and keep it moving. Whereas like Dark Universe, it's pretty small compared to the other parks. And I've said that to Jay.
Correct.
So this is a really interesting thing because I mean I've speculated that this park, man, can't be more than 30,000 or much more. That is just because of the assortment of attractions. So we know that, like, for example, Forbidden Journey, right, which is kind of the analogous that you can use for, let's say, Munchers Unchained, because it uses a very similar ride system. That is actually a very high capacity attraction, at least Forbidden Journey, that is. And I think it's like one of the highest in Southern California. I mean, it is very, very high capacity. It moves a lot of people through. I don't know if that is of a similar capacity load that Monsters Unchained is, but I assume that it is, and that's why they went with that ride system. I've also heard that Battle for the Ministry hasn't been able to run at full fare because of the technical issues that they have with that, especially with multiple vehicles on the track at once. But that I've heard is a high capacity attraction. I've heard the opposite for Nintendo attractions. So like Mario Kart, for example, I was talking to a team member some time ago, and they were saying that they had problems getting just over 1,000 per hour, which is very, very low for Mario Kart and the demand that sees. And I think the max theoretical is like anywhere between 1,300 to 1,500, which isn't great. So with all that being said, I've heard, I mean, I'm speculating 30,000. I've also seen, by the way, I think BioReconstruct took some pictures of a tent structure that we know is going to be maybe a parade building, which will be awesome for Celestial Park and for this park to have a parade in order to have people actually group together in Celestial Park on a regular basis, maybe 2 or 3 times a day. That'd be awesome. I just can't see 50,000. That's really ambitious for this park. Really ambitious for this park.
I agree.
If they do it,
and that was that was my fear. So didn't it break down? CJ, are you just wait, you're not the same CJ that we met at the park, is it? Is it the same guy? No, somebody else. We had another team member meet us at the front of the park that I never got to meet. It was pretty awesome. His name is he goes by CJ2 on Instagram. But yeah, that was my big takeaway on Sunday, is that they can't handle a larger crowd. Super Nintendo World is going to be
oh my gosh, shoulder to shoulder. Yeah.
Oh, it is in Hollywood.
Yeah, when they opened it here in Hollywood, they had to do the virtual. Just
asking. Go ahead, brother.
They had to do the virtual queue to enter the land, and that only lasted for a couple of months. Then they just opened it up. But the first couple of months was like insane. It still gets bad. It's gonna get bad in the summer, but during the slow seasons right now at Universal Hollywood, there are times where like the land's nearly empty, but that's like near closing. But 50,000 at Epic. I wouldn't be surprised if they do virtual queue for the lands themselves, which I don't think they would, but I don't think 50,000 would work.
RJ says it's supposed to hold 100K, but the max might be 30K.
I can't see really how. I mean, that this has been one of my biggest fears with this park and how it's laid out is like the portal structure, right? Because we saw with Super Nintendo World at Hollywood that the limited ingress and egress traffic going to those portals, I mean, you get bottlenecks. You get people that stay in the land too long.
Here's the thing. So the portals is just one of many ways to enter into the lands.
Good.
They've got a ton of side entrances that are very wide that you can.
Very good.
And most of the people exiting, they don't exit through the portal. They kind of go because the way that they have each land shaped, like Dark Universe, for instance, you swing around into like these certain stores and stuff like that, and then it takes you right to this wide exit. So that might help. And then I'm just like, but yeah, again, some of the stuff was a little confusing. Like when we got the Frankenstein pretzel, we're so used to like going up to one window and then getting the pretzel like from the next window but
Right.
they had both windows. Like you just stay there and get your stuff. And so we were in one line, and there was no one in another line. But they didn't call anybody to come over. You know, they didn't like, we'll take the next person, and you're just kind of like, oh, come on. So
that one, that place right there, you see the window. That's,
yeah, but I really love that pretzel.
Little training exercise right there, I'm sure.
Again, it is in previews. So let's see real quick. From Jay's Shattered Glass, y'all doing amazing. Thank you, Scattered Night.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Dean for $5. Jay, I work in wastewater engineering. There is a massive poopy plant next to Epic. Have you smelled anything while at the park? Nothing.
No, nothing. When you're in Donkey Kong Land, you smell bananas.
Yeah. And when you're in Burke, you could smell like, I don't know if it's chlorine, but you smell like the water there when you first walk in.
There's a good question in the chat by Shadow Dude too that says, can you move between Nintendo and Dark Universe without having to go back into Celestial Park? You cannot.
No.
You have to leave, go into Celestial Park, and go into another portal.
Yeah.
The whole point is to be immersed into that world.
Yeah, operationally, not ideal, but immersion wise, that's what they're going for. And they made a lot of those design conceits with like the original Harry Potter, for example. A lot of Imagineers kind of scoffed at the designs initially because it was like, well, how many people can you get through this? The shops are tiny and all that kind of stuff. But it made for an immersive environment. So Universal has been one to kind of make some operational conceits for the benefit of the guest experience.
But yeah, to answer your question, didn't smell no poopy stuff.
No.
So hanging with Erica and Raph says, are they going to have a grand opening like they did with the first Harry Potter land was built, televised and all? Or is that an outdated thing now? According to rumor, they're doing a massive grand opening. Will it be televised? Maybe on their YouTube channel. They might live stream it. That's just kind of how they do things now. But it's supposed to be massive opening day where they're going to allow the most people and have all types of guests from all over to come and
Park Hoppin will be there.
Bring in the new. That's right. I will not.
Ivan and I
think I'll be at a Disney World park and be I didn't get my ticket to Epic because it's sold out.
Yeah, it is sold out for I think the entire month of May, which is crazy, or at least the first 2 weeks at Epic.
And so I'm assuming if they do anything, they might it's a guess. They might live stream it.
Yeah,
from their.
It'll probably be televised like other parts of the world, but as far as like here, like I think Jay's right. They're just gonna do a live stream on their own. There's gonna be some press, some media, obviously other live streamers, YouTubers. That's the new television right there for us.
There might be like each land that they may have like their own people and like celebrations. So if Miyamoto's at Nintendo that day, and then maybe some people related to like the Monster Universe might be at Dark Universe. So it's gonna be like a pick and choose thing, maybe.
Yeah. Well, you know where I'm going. I don't know.
Low key, I'll probably be. Yeah, I want to meet Miyamoto. So that's
the good thing is that Park Hoppin got enough footage these past 3 trips where if it's overwhelming for Krista and Ivan, like it might be so packed that they just have to stand there and wait to meet Miyamoto or something. I'd rather them do that than have to worry about filming a vlog,
I don't think Miyamoto's going to do a meet and greet. It's more so just he goes up on stage, says a little speech, cuts the ribbon and leaves. People take selfies. Yeah. But what we plan to do is go live. So don't worry. We're going to be live walking around the park on opening day, and we will have a opening day vlog as well. And we get fireworks. We'll probably try to film that into the vlog.
So you're saying the theme park revolution will be televised, but on Park Hoppin.
Right.
I like that.
That's right.
Right. Thomas says rope drop would probably be monsters and wing gliders. So how rope drop works, maybe you already know, and I'm just when they let you into the park, you go through the first portal, they swing you off to the sides. So the right side is Isle of Burke and Ministry of Magic, and the left side is Nintendo World, then Monsters. So they don't eat because there's just giant fountains in the middle. So you pick your side that you want to go to.
Now, Krista, you have the pass, right? for the express? Because that could help us out later on in the day.
I don't. Yeah, but that's okay. We could work something out.
No, you do have the pass.
Oh, you mean
She
with
has
my
it.
annual pass?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
And
Yeah,
they
so
said
they're
that-
saying that they might allow that annual pass to be used for a fast pass in this
Oh,
park.
okay.
Because they
cool.
were, when we were there Sunday, they were allowing us to use it for a discount.
Yes.
So-
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll see. Hangin'. Hey, thanks for becoming a member of the channel. We
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Man, we appreciate all the love and the gifts and everything else that are here.
Mm.
But anyway, that's all we got for today.
Mm-hmm.
How many attractions have single rider lane? That's a good question I don't have answers to. Not all of them do, but
I know Mario Kart does. I know
so does Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong, yes. Apparently the wing gliders also has a single rider line, the Hiccups wing gliders.
Yeah. And remember, operations can kind of be inconsistent there. Sometimes they open and sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
You know, it's all that.
But we just released on Park Hoppin'. If you want to go check it out, the Pizza Moon review.
Yes.
Oh, my face is on there. Okay, on the thumbnail. Look at that.
Yes.
Where we had pizza and a giant brownie.
It was good.
And that, yeah, for what it's worth, the food there was very, very good. A little messy, but you know, but it was very good. But yes, anyway, Vosh, what you got going on, brother?
Well, we got T3PO live on That Pod Place over there at the That Park Place network. You can go ahead and type in That Pod Place on YouTube and find us. T3PO live is at 3 p.m. on Tuesdays. That's 3 p.m. Eastern, that is, following the Pro Show. If you're watching the Pro Show, just stick around. You'll be redirected right there. And we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff like Disneyland Paris announcements that are very fascinating. Epic Universe news, of course, Universal UK, and a whole lot more. So definitely check us out there. And we also have That Park Place in the morning, which is going to be changing times a little bit tomorrow. That's going to be taking place at 9 a.m. Eastern. Typically, we were doing it at 11. But we're going to be moving it up just a little bit. Hosted by Jonas J. Campbell, which you can find me there as well. So definitely check us out.
That's awesome. What about you, Ivan? What you got going on?
Working on my Instagram, Valiant Studios, and then just I finished covering Fast and the Furious roller coaster, which completed the track over here.
Nice.
And that's the prediction for that is early 2026. There might be previews, maybe February. Yeah, FanFest is next week. So Park Hoppin' blog on that. It's gonna be Back to the Future, Star Trek, One Piece, and other stuff there.
That'll be awesome.
Can't wait to
What
try
about
the food.
Oh, keep going. Sorry, I jumped.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I'll be that.
I'll be like, and what about you, Krista Nova? What are we uploading?
Yeah, just uploaded the portal to Super Nintendo World at Epic Universe on Instagram. I'm about to put it on TikTok as well, YouTube, Twitter, all that. So go follow Park Hoppin' on all the socials because we're going to be uploading some more epic stuff.
Please listen. We are close to being monetized on TikTok. I know not everybody's a TikTok fan, but if you do have one, please follow Park Hoppin'. We're getting close. We've got a couple TikTokers out there that we've crossed over a million views on TikTok.
Yeah, twice.
So Krista's destroying it over there in a positive way. So please check it out. And that's it. I'm Jay. I go live at 6 o'clock on the Monday Hangover on my channel.
Hey.
We're done.
Bye.
We will catch you on the next. Minnie, my sweetheart, right there. There she is.
Hold up.